all of you had a great time celebrating the holidays with all your kamag-anaks and your kapatids and kapusos, all your loved ones. But now it's back to reality and back to answering your burning immigration questions with Attorney Attorney Allison Aquino Silva and Attorney Richard Lowe.
This American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino and Lowe Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
It's a new year, 2016. We have our attorneys here to help us get back on track. It's so important that we really get to our New Year's resolution. And one of those is to make sure na aayusin na natin ang ating mga papeles, right? So thank you for being with us this new year. Happy 2016. So maraming balita. There's a lot of news. Attorney Richard, of all these raids that are happening, can you tell us what is this happening with ICE and that they're targeting mothers and children? Is this true?
Yeah, it's true to an extent. What's been happening is that, as you know, in the past year or so, there have been a lot of immigrants coming up from Central America, particularly families, women and children, and presenting themselves to the border, at the border, trying to come in as refugees. And the government has been cracking down on those who have come into the United States and have gone through the process of having a hearing and have a final order removal, but that have not left. So they've decided that they're going to try to pick them up and physically remove them from the United States. It's gotten a little bit of pushback from the immigration community. Obviously, it seems quite harsh to arrest women and children and remove them from the United States. But the greater news here is that this is not targeted at everyone who has final removal orders. Still, the priorities that Obama set, the priorities to remove people are still in place. So if you have a final removal order that was prior to 2014 and it's old, you're not a target right now. So it's just Central Americans who had come up through that process, who have a final order of removal, that they are now looking to remove from the United States.
Okay, so Kababayans aren't affected. That's a good thing. All right, make sure to give us a call, 1-800-553-5724. We are taking your calls here on Kababayan today. It's a new year. I'm sure marami po kayong tanong. Kasama po natin si Attorney Allison Aquino Silva at si Attorney Richard Lowe. And they are here to answer all your questions. So tawagan niyo po kami. Ngayon, Allison, I want to talk about the H-1B filing window. I know it's coming up very soon in April. What are the requirements for an H-1B, which is, as we know, a work visa?
Exactly. And as you point out, the H-1B is the most common work visa. And the filing window, which is a very, very short filing window, is coming up on April 1 to April 7 of 2016. Every year, immigration runs out of the valuable H-1B visa, and so that's why it's such a short, limited amount of time that individuals need to have their application finished and actually received by the Immigration Service. If your application is not received within the short 5 business day window, it will not even be considered by the immigration. It won't be run through their lottery and even being considered for selection and processing. And so the main requirements, first of all, people have a misconception that the individual who is applying for an H-1B needs to be here in the United States. The H-1B is available for both those who are here and also those who are still overseas. And so the visa is processed. If you're still overseas, we process the visa while you're still outside the United States. And so the main requirement is that the individual have at least a bachelor's degree, so a 4-year college education, and that they are being offered a job in a professional position or specialty occupation that relates to the particular bachelor's degree that they've received.
Okay. Unfortunately, we won't be able to take your calls if you're watching us in Hawaii, as we are live right now in Los Angeles. But we do have our first call here from Los Angeles, si Felipe. Felipe, ano po yung tanong ninyo para sa ating immigration attorneys?
Ang tanong ko po ay is it true that if you got a tattoo, you won't be able to get a green card?
Well, my mom said if you got a tattoo, you can't go to heaven. Is it true that if you have a tattoo, you can't get a green card?
It is absolutely, well, that's an interesting question. First, I want to say absolutely not. But in some circumstances, a tattoo can be an indication of gang involvement. And in that case, a tattoo that indicates gang involvement may present problems to you in trying to adjust your status in the United States because you could be considered a threat to security of the United States. So in that sense, if it's a gang tattoo or indicates gang membership, that could be a problem in adjustment. But, you know, a tattoo of a unicorn is not going to be a problem.
Okay. All right, we are taking your calls here on Kababyan today. Please call us. It is free. Tawagan nyo lang po kami, 1-800-553-5724. Okay? Kasama natin ang ating immigration attorneys. Magbabalik kami here on our show. Don't go away. We'll be right back.